up? It's your boy viciousfolife back with another Madden NFL 21 depth chart video. Today we're going to go over the NFC West, and I'm going to give you my depth chart recommendations in order to succeed on online head-to-head ranked matches when using new regs teams. These are the depth chart situation solutions that I often use, which has helped lead me to be in the top 1% of Madden head-to-head ranked players online. Disclaimer before we really get into it, just want to let you guys know that while speed is a very important factor in a lot of Madden decisions, it's not the end-all be-all, and I don't just go solely based on that. I try to go on other individual rankings as well. With that being said, let's start this thing off with the NFC East, with a team I love to root for personally, and that's the Seattle Seahawks. Now, you have Russell Wilson here. It's pretty much a done deal, but you got to start somewhere, right? Russell's going to be that guy. He makes throws on the run. He's accurate. He pinpoints. He's not the 99 that he was earlier in the season, but at 95, he's still a damn great quarterback. Moved on to halfbacks, you have Chris Carlson. He's going to be your primary main one. While he's not the speed burner, he's a trucking machine, breaks tackles. He's ideally one of my favorite types of running backs in Madden, where you have that power and that extra oomph. To spell him, if you want to do Carlos Hyde, you can, but he's pretty much like the same halfback as Chris. So usually I do Rashad Penny or Travis Homer. Either one will work. I personally have a little affinity to Travis, but I do throw Rashad in there here and there. At fullback, they don't have one, so you can pick. Normally, what I would suggest is just taking Will Dissly. He can block pretty decently. Just put him in there in case your formation requires a fullback. Wide receiver, Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf are your 1s and 2s. It is all going to feed through these guys. As for your slot, you can do different directions. You have David Moore, Philip Dorsett Jr., or Philip Dorsett, I should say, and then you have this dude, Josh Gordon. Josh has really low awareness, so I don't like putting him on the field too much, but I do like having David and Philip there. Now, because Tyler Lockett's in the slot, you could sneak Josh Gordon out on the outside just because he has that 6'3" and that height. It's up to you, but you have a lot of stuff you can mix and match with on here. At tight end, Greg Olsen is going to be a security blanket. He's not terribly slow at 82. He holds on to most catches. His backup, Will Dissly, while not as fast, he's also pretty solid too. And then Jacob Hollister is your speed guy at 84. Not too much speed, but ideally a little bit better than the other two. Oh look, Lou Wilson makes an appearance in this video too. Left tackle, you have Dwayne Brown. Now everyone knows Seattle's O-line is not the best. Dwayne is one of the people you can rely on at 83. Your left guard is going to be Mike Ipati. It is what it is. There's not much you can really do. 76 is an okay rating. At center, you have Ethan Poick. Once again, 73, not much you can do. Right guard, Damian Lewis, a rookie. And then you have Brandon Shell at right tackle. So as I said, it's ugly when it comes to the line here in Seattle, but once again, the team's still fun to play with and you can work your way around it. Left end is going to be LJ Collier. I usually start him just because in your 4-3 you just want to have like your basic run stuffing people out there, not necessarily pass rush. Just like keep LJ on there while he's not fast. He's a big body. You then have your right end, which is Carlos Dunlap. He's going to be your best end. While he has the 82 speed, he also has that experience and awareness around him to actually get off the blocks. So that's who you're going to be using. You always can put in Rashad Green or Alton, whatever you want to do, like different combinations to change the side he's on. But Carlos Dunlap's going to be who the team runs through for the most part. At defensive tackle, Jared Reed, Poona Ford. The rest of these guys, they're whatever, but these are going to be your main two that you're going to be utilizing. Your left outside linebacker, Jordan Brooks, the rookie this year, had 78, 87 speed, decent. You have Shaquem Griffin here, who's also a little bit quicker and fast, but I think Jordan Brooks is the better play. Now, if you are doing a pass rush scenario, then that's where you want to put Shaquem in there. But if you're doing standard, just regular coverage, or not coverage, but regular linebacking, need that big body, just keep Jordan. Your middle linebacker is Bobby Wagner. While not as deadly as he was last year, he still comes in at a 96. Still the enforcer of that defense. He's able to get around the field a lot and make those tough tackles for you, so that's something you definitely want to be aware of. In regards to your right outside linebacker, you have KJ White. He's solid. 83 years, don't really have much holes in his game. He is getting a little bit up there and his speed isn't the best, but for the most part he holds it down based on whatever you have him out there doing. Cornerback, you have Shaquille Griffin. Their corners are weird. The settings that I use are I put Quentin Dunbar here, I'll put Trey Flowers in the slot, and I'll keep DJ Reed here. I get why they have DJ there because in real life that's where he's at, but Madden wise you'll notice that the coverage that this one has and Trey has kind of outweighs DJ Reed Jr. Free safety, Quandre Diggs, keep it pretty easy. Strong safety, Jamal Adams, he's your Swiss Army knight. Keep him at strong safety. I put him at linebacker, sometimes along with Bobby Wagner to have two head hunters over the middle. So you can really have a lot of fun with him based on whatever you're trying to do. Third down is going to be your Chris Carsons. He's, like I said, got that power, has that support, can do some blocking. That's what you're going to want to keep on the field. Occasionally, if you want a little more speed, though, I put in Homer or Rashad. Usually been leaning towards Homer, but honestly, you can't go wrong with either one of these guys. Hard halfback, Chris Carson. Slot, like I said, Tyler Lockett is going to be your guy. You can also put David Moore in there, and if you want to put Dorsett, you could in there, but I feel like Tyler Lockett, like, he's just a mismatch at that 85. Like, most slot corners aren't going to be able to keep up with him, so that's something you just want to, take into consideration. Your rushing left end is going to be Benson Mayowa. He has a little bit more speed than LJ. Now you could put in Bruce Irvin with the 86. Because the Seattle Seahawks don't have the best pass rush, I would recommend mix and matching. You could put Bruce on one side, Benson on the other side, Dunlap in the middle. But just, have different ways to get different pressure. Like I said, Carlos Dunlap is going to be your guy at the 78. Now, you have Shaquille Griffin here as well. You can do a little mix matching with him because he'll be able to play end. So honestly, it's just kind of about you picking like what do you want to really do and how do you want to attack the defense at this point, or the offense, I should say. Your defensive tackle, you have Jerry Reed, Poona Ford. These guys aren't going to get you sacks. If you did want to sub them out to put in Dunlap or Taylor or another DE, you could, but they're just there to help make it so that you can't get run on. Your coverage linebackers, you have Bobby Wagner. I like Jordan Brooks more than KJ Wright, but KJ Wright's been on the team for so long, he has that 93 awareness, which you don't want to disrespect. If you are going for a little bit oomph, you can put in Jamal Adams. That way you have Wagner and him, and they could definitely get some big hits, and Jamal can cover, so it's something worth thinking about. You don't have to do it all the time, but just, it's a little surprise or so. For your slot, as I said earlier, I usually do it to where Trey Flowers is right here, and then I'll keep DJ Reed Jr. there and leave this dude right here. He doesn't have the best coverage skills, so helps out. And that's your Seattle Seahawks. Now let's make our way to our next team in the NFC, and that is going to be your Arizona Cardinals. You're starting with Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, he's got the speed, he's got the arm strength, really good quarterback in this game. You won't be much upset having to throw to him. Halfback, you have Kenyon Drake. He's going to be your primary person you're using. The other halfbacks, they're okay. If you want to do a little more speed, you put in Muhammad, but Kenyon is going to be who you want to be on the field with for the most part. Your fullback, they don't really have one, so they just use Darrell Davis. Wide receiver, you have DeAndre Hopkins at 99, tied with best receiver in the game along with other stalwarts such as Devontae Adams. At 80, of Larry Fitzgerald. Unfortunately, he has that 80 free speed, so he's seen better days. While he is 6'3", he's not going to burn anybody. He's mostly who I use when I want like a really tough catch, but he's not going to get open that much against people. Christian Kirk at 79, he has a little bit, spring to step at 92 speed. He's pretty decent. He's a good slot. He's also a good number 2, but for the most part, a lot of your stuff's going to be coming through Hopkins. Keyshawn Johnson. Now, Andy Isabella is a wild card with a 93 speed. He has 73 overall. He can kind of catch too. He's just small. I usually put him in sometimes in like slot plays or if I'm doing any options just because of that little speed boost. So I think he's like the wild card. Just keep that in mind, you know. Tight end, you have Max Williams and you have Dan Arnold. Max is the higher overall one because he has a better blocking. Dan's a bit better in the receiving end. So if you do need a big catch or receiving play, I would put Dan over Max, but for the most part I keep it this way just to make it a little bit easier for myself. Seth DeVal's an honorable mention. He's a pretty good catcher as well, but for the most part you'll be using Max and Dan. Left tackle, you have DJ Humphries. Left guard, Justin Purg. Center, Mason Cole. J.R. Sleazy. Kevin Beecham Jr. I have this dude here, but yeah, Kevin's better than him. At left end, you'll have Zach Allen, Angelo Blackson. Right end, Jordan Phillips, Angelo Blackson. Remember, they play the 3-4, so these are just big dudes. They're not the guys who are going to become getting the sacks. DT, Corey Peters, if you want to sub him out, Pecco, but really at this point, that's kind of a personal preference. I just go with Peters. Your left outside, you have Chandler Jones. Now, Hassan Riddick is really good at 88 speed. Not as great as Chandler is, but still with 88, you can sub him in on the other side or from another position and send him on the blitz, and he's going to boom to the target. Your middle linebackers, Jordan Hicks, Devon Campbell. These are going to be your stalwarts for the most part. I feel like Jordan Hicks makes more plays for me, so I usually use him, but you can't go wrong using either one of these guys. For your right outside linebacker, you have Marquise Golden and Devon Kennard. Once again, I usually go Marquise, but I sometimes will put in Riddick over him. Devon Kennard is not bad as well, but you have places you can just kind of mix and match and decide what you want to do. At cornerback, you have Patrick Peterson, Dre Campbell, Kirkpatrick, and Byron Murphy Jr. Byron Murphy's your best corner on the squad. He's in here because he normally plays the slot, because I want to make sure that every 2 or 3 sets I have my best cornerback on the field. What I normally do is I'll just do something like this. That way I'm able to keep Byron Murphy on the field and always have him on there in case I need to have that coverage. At free safety, you have Jalen Thompson. It's not bad at 76. Strong safety, Buda Baker, the big play guy, the big money dude. He can cover anybody, he could be around anything. He's a good person to use interchangeably, whether you want to put him in that cornerback position or to cover your tight end. That's who's going to flow through. Then you have Kenyon Drake. That's your third down. Power halfback, Chase Evans. Not sure why he's the power one, but I would probably make this change of putting in Eno Benjamin, 59, but he's got that strength and trucking that you want to see in your power back. Your slot wide receiver is normally Larry Fitzgerald. I don't like keeping Larry in the slot because he's super slow for a slot. Usually I'll put in Christian Kirk or Andy Isabella over him, but if you did want to keep him there, then it's up to you. Your left end, Chandler Jones, is a monster. You're not able to hold him the whole game. Like I said before, moving Riddick around and Kennard around will give you a dividend as well. Marquise Golden starts, but like I said, you can move people around and kind of go off there. Your rush defensive tackle is going to be Jordan Phillips and Corey Peters. If you want, you can kind of put in Zach Allen, try and add a little bit more boost. But, you know, because they're free 4 ends, they're not really made for speed that way. Your coverage linebackers, you have Jordan Hicks and you have Isaiah Simmons. Isaiah Simmons is a first-round pick. Or, sorry, he is a high pick. He can move. He's rangy. He's got 93 speed. You can keep him there if you want. You can also make him the guy number 1. That way he goes against tight ends. But if you're going to use someone on the defense that isn't the safety, Isaiah is who you want to basically focus on. In the slot corner, you have Byron Murphy Jr. and then you have Buda Baker coming as number 4. I just keep it this way in case something like that does happen, but in the most part, you're not going to see it go beyond Byron Murphy beyond the field in the corner position. And that is your Arizona Cardinals. Move on to our next team. We have the San Francisco 49ers. Sneaky good team here. If you can make Jimmy G work for you, you're looking at a team with a really big arsenal. Jimmy G is the quarterback at 75. It is what it is, regardless of how you feel about him. I don't think he's necessarily the best, but he's serviceable to get the team through the game. Halfback, you have Raheem Mostert at 97 speed. Dude's a burner. Dude's your starter. If you do want to spell him, Tevin Coleman's the dude. And if you want to spell it Tevin Coleman, you have Jerry McKenna. You're really only going to need these three guys and primarily just him. So really you could interchange a lot of these guys, but Raheem Mostert is who the game is going to flow through. Fullback, you have Kyle. Only one there. Make it easy. Wide receiver, Deebo Samuel's your best wide receiver. Utilize him anywhere you need to, outside in the slot. Try to move him around just so you can get him on the field more and let the offense flow through him if you can. Kendrick Bourne, he's solid. Number 2, Brandon Ayuk. He's also really good rookie this year. Richie James kind of came on, but mainly Deebo is going to be the one who you make the wide receiver core go through. At tight end, you have George Kittle, 97 overall, ridiculous body frame, ridiculous ability to get open. He actually has the ability to do the slots, to audible his slot routes. So when I say you need to like force feed this dude, force feed him. You know, sneak Deebo in there, but George Kittle is going to be the main number 1 threat on the dang 49ers. Jordan Reed's also sneaky good too at 81. He still has a little bit pep in his step, so watch out for him because it's very easy for you to forget about it, and then you're like, oh damn, I didn't even know Jordan was here. Your left tackle is going to be Trent Williams at 94. He's just a beast. Left guard is Laken Tomlinson at 79, also great. Your center is Weston Richburg, 79, also great, or decent I should say. Tom Compton at 67 is not the best, but it is what it is. And then your right guard is Mike McGlinchey. He's going to be your best at that position, and he's young. Your left end, you have Eric Armstead, D Ford. You can start Eric. He's not really quick. I don't want to put D Ford out there just because he's more of the Russian type. So with Eric Armstead having that bigger body, I don't mind putting him at the left end. Right end, you have Nick Bosa. He's a firecracker. He's relentless. He, at 90 overall, is still going to just go crazy hard to your offensive tackles to let him through. So you have to watch out for him whenever you see you're playing against the 49ers. Kerry Holder is also straight, and Deion Jordan is also okay, but Nick Bosa is the real threat on there. DT, you have Javon Kinlaw. He had a good season for a rookie. And you have Solomon Thomas. You know, these guys aren't really meant to generate sacks or just be big bodies, so you kind of mix and match and figure out how you want to incorporate them on the field. Your left outside linebacker, you have Dre Greenlaw. Pretty much I'll leave it at that. Your middle linebacker, you have Fred Warner, 92, one of the nastier linebackers in the game. He's definitely a strong user candidate if you do want to use a linebacker. And then your right outside linebacker, you have Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles at 63. Little low, little weak. They used to have Quan Alexander, but they got rid of him. I mean, this is not going to be something that really stops you from thriving too much, but just keep that awareness that the linebackers for this team aren't necessarily the most experienced. Corner, you still have Richard Sherman at 87. You have Jason Verrett at 84. These are going to be your 1-2 punch. When it comes to the slot, Emmanuel Mosley plays it just because of the higher speed. Witherspoon is not a bad corner as well. You can kind of sub him around to get your best results with him, but these are going to be the main people right here that you're going to be using on the field. Free safety Jimmy Ward, you know, not much debate there. Strong safety Jaquise Tart, once again, not much debate there. Third down halfback Jarrett McKinnon. Up to you how you really want to function that. Raheem Mostert is a little bit faster, but McKenna is actually, you know, I believe he has, does he have the better catching? Yeah, he's got the better catching, a little more agility, so can't go wrong with letting him just stay there. Power bad, they put in Tevin Coleman. If you're going based off truck, Jeff Wilson Jr. is going to be your guy. I like to do that when I play myself, so going with Jeff on this one with the 84 trucking. Slot, you have Trent Taylor. I like Brandon more than Trent Taylor. Trent Taylor used to be like their guy, then he got hurt or fell off, and now Brandon's kind of took a lot of his snaps. So I keep Brandon there, and then I'll put Trent in. Sometimes I just want like a cheap, easy catch or something to where I don't have to think about it too much. Your rush ending, you have D4 coming at 85 speed. Nick Bosa jumps up to 92 at the rush. 79 speed, but he has relentless and all those other perks where he's gonna be coming after you. Amir Armstead 81, Jerry Kinlaw 77. These are not bad bookings at all. You can always replace them with one or two of the ends and see how you feel about it. But for the most part, it's gonna be these two. Fred Warner is gonna be the guy that you use around for the most part. With Dre, you can keep him there, or if you want, you can replace him with another safety. He's alright. Obviously, you want a little more speed after the 84, but it's kind of, at this point, it is what it is. In the slot corner, you have Kawan Williams at the 80, Dante Jackson 65, and Akil Witherspoon 73. I would do this and keep it like so, just because I feel like Witherspoon's earned that opportunity, but just keep that in mind. And that's your San Francisco 49ers. And now we're moving on to the last team, which is the Los Angeles Rams. All these quarterbacks to compensate for how trash Jared is. But Jared's a 77 overall. He's going to be the guy that we start. If you did want a more mobile quarterback, John Wolfold is going to be your guy. But for the most part, it's going to be Jared Goff's team on this. Your halfback, you have Cam Akers, who solidified himself as that guy. His backup's Darrell Henderson Jr. just because of the speed, but that's who you're going to be using right here most. Fullback, they're using a tight end because they don't really have one. Wide receiver, you have Robert Woods, who's good at catching almost everything. Not the fastest or flashiest dude, but he makes the tough catches. Cooper Kupp, kind of the same way, makes the really tough catches. When you get to here, it's really how you feel about it. Josh Reynolds has done a great job. Van Jefferson also has a lot of big play potential, so it's kind of like who you feel you want to see the most. I do think Reynolds deserves a shot though, just because of the high awareness of 82, and that's who I kind of use. I'll just put Van in on plays. I'm like, I want to see what this kid can do on this one. At tight end, you have Tyler Higbee. He's not the most receiving or flashy, but he makes those tough catches. You have Gerald Everett, who's more flashy, can also make big catches, but you got to go with whoever you feel is like the fundamental need, which I feel like is Tyler, just because he has the better blocking. Now, if you do get on those total receiver sets, you want to make sure you're looking out, just because Jared's sneaky good and he can make some very big catches on you if you're not paying attention. Your left tackle is Andrew Whitworth. Left guard is David Edwards. Right guard is Austin. Center is Austin. Right guard is Austin Corbett. And then right tackle is Rob Havison. Okay, O-line, it could definitely hold you upright, so you're not working with nothing. Your left end is going to be Michael Brockers. Aaron Donald, of course, can't be forgotten. Then your DT, Sebastian Joseph Day, Antoine Robinson. I would probably just put this and call it a day. For your left outside, you'll have Leonard Floyd and this dude right here, Ogbubu Nania, and Justin Lawler. I usually keep the floor just because I usually keep Leonard Floyd in there just because I have the faith in him, and he's had flashes whenever I play with him. Your middle linebacker, the Rams don't really have the best middle linebacker situation, so you can kind of take your pick here. If you're going based off speed, it's going to be Travin, but Mekhi Kisser and Troy Reader have definitely come through whenever I play, so I kind of just keep it this way. Right outside is Samson Ibukam. I keep him there as well. You have Justin Hollins that you can kind of squeeze in there whenever you want to, but for the most part, I keep it Samson. Corner-wise, you have Jalen Ramsey, shut down corner. You put him on anybody, it's going to be hard to move the ball. Really, really great corner. The drop-off is real, though. When you get to Darius Williams at 84, not bad at all, but obviously not as viewed as highly touted. So I keep him there at the 84. Troy Hill and David Long are going to be your backups. It's really on to you which one you feel more comfortable with, but for the most part, just keep Troy Hill. Free safeties, Jordan Filler. He's a rookie too, but I know he's got that potential. You could put in Taylor Rapp, but the 87 speed and I think the bigger hit power is kind of the big difference for me. Strong safety, you have John Johnson III. He doesn't really have much purpose you can compare him to. Third down halfback, Cam Akers, like I said, it kind of runs through him. Malcolm Brown at 73 is your power halfback. He has the trucking, he has the bigger body. He's also a pretty decent spellback as well. I keep Cooper Kupp in the slot, but if you always can interchange him with Robert Woods, they both can make those tough catches. You also got to think about Josh or Van if you do want a little speed burst, but for the most part, that's why I kind of keep him when I play with him. For your rushing left end, I keep Floyd there, like I said, but you can always put in Ogabania and Derek Rivers around when you can, just to try and move them around and get Floyd somewhere else to kind of come from. Your right outside, you're going to keep Justin Hollins and Terrell Lewis, just so you have different people out there to try and rush the passer. You're going to keep Donald as your DT. He's unstoppable force no matter where you put him. If you want to get sneaky, you could put him at the left outside linebacker, right outside linebacker, just so you can get that decent push. So something worth thinking about if you feel like he's been getting blocked up or the resistance starting to build up. Once again, because you don't have any linebackers here for LA, you're going to have to kind of pick and choose. I kind of kept Mackay and Troy just because the speed difference isn't too much with them. But if you are going to use one of them, I would definitely say Troy. Slot corner, Troy Hill, David Long Jr. They don't really have a lot of cornerbacks for you to really debate this, and that's kind of where we stand. And just like that, that is the NFC West. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what teams you want to see next as I continue to power through my Madden NFL 21 depth chart series. It's been such a pleasure. Let me know in the comments what you guys are thinking of the series. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.